What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classic Con blog. Let me know if you can hear me correctly, see me. Put a 1 in the comments and drop your city and state. This is gonna be a quickie for lunch. I have a later show, I think, with Dr. Dix. I have to see its schedule again. I just want to bring this up. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. Ex-DJ is squatting in a house, and someone said in the comments, "Club mentality strikes again." And I want to say, yes, exactly. Club mentality strikes again. And I want to talk to you about digging your well before you need it. This is something that really people lose sight of. Now, I'm not against the arts. I'm not against science. I'm not against any of this stuff, right? You know, I post things on my community wall because I'm sharing them from a place of I meet people every single day who aren't well read, who aren't well researched, who aren't studying. And if you say something, they're like, wait, what? This happened? Get out of here. So my community wall, a lot of times people say, well, you guys can't, you can't talk about that, Ericka. This is a business channel. I can talk about whatever the hell I want. This is my channel. This is my channel. Please get that in your head. What's up, Brandy? What's up, Classic Climb folks? Drop your city and state in the chat. But I have to say this. We have a lot of non-productive people. Man of Tomorrow does a lot of conversations on his channel about this. And this is very important, right? We need a balance of different voices in our community. And so shout out to him. Go check him out. He has a book. We'll share it more on the community wall. But I really want to say this. The guy in the article is a former DJ. And basically, this is what happens when you try to get on welfare. And I'm going to say this very carefully. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I already know where this goes. My mom was telling me when they were younger, they had a neighbor with this really cool 1960s Camaro thing, whatever, right? It was like whatever those old muscle cars are. Her father left it to her. Father dies. She has a baby, and she's telling them, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make money. She goes down to the welfare office. They tell her to sell the car, and then they'll help her. She tells my grandma, my family goes, are you stupid, honey? That car is the only thing keeping you moving around and plugged into society, right? But she literally, for a second, thought about it. I should sell the car my daddy left me so I can get this guaranteed welfare check. And this is what's happening in this article. They told, we can't help you till you're really dire straits. Till you're just bust, your dire straits, and we'll give you this house voucher. Because it's very hard, I'm going to be honest. There's one thing where men talk about it, and it's true. It's very hard for able-bodied men to get Section 8 or any government assistance unless they show they've been in a car accident, they had major injuries, something happened, they had a brain injury. It's very hard for men to get disability and SSI and also housing assistance. So I will not, I won't, that's a truth that men say out here, and it's very true. We had a tenant in Detroit, literally had a lung and spinal surgery. And they still wouldn't put him on it. They're like, well, he was working on roofing a year ago. And I'm like, yeah, but he had spine surgery. So this happens. But this is why I want you to be wary. This man who is a DJ, no, not to music people, but I know that club life mentality, right? The phone rings till it stops ringing, right? Ask Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is a famous, from a billionaire family, Hilton family, and even her phone started ringing, and that's when she decided she was going to get married and have a kid at 42 years old. So let's really put the math on there. Even a wealthy billionaire's phone doesn't ring, and she's now a DJ. If you didn't know, Paris Hilton is now actually a DJ. So she's going to keep being in the club somehow. She's going to figure out a way to get in there, right? All right. So with that being said, he got to a position where they're like, well, if you just don't pay your rent, right? You don't pay your rent and you get really broke and the apartment's about to kick you out, we'll put you on a housing voucher. Well, anybody who's taken 2 seconds to read, to Google, to use these cell phones to look up the information, these programs, okay, these programs are all backed up. There's nobody who wants to deal with Section 8 tenants. I know y'all hear this. I know y'all get upset. I know y'all get mad with me. But here's the facts. Most people, if they can avoid it, they don't deal with Section 8. They don't deal with the government, right? Because a lot of this housing people are picking up for cheap. It ain't 100%. That doesn't mean anybody's a slumlord. That just means you're not getting brand new windows, brand new doors, brand new floors, brand new everything, brand new kitchen for $850 a month. That's not happening. It's not happening. Literally told you what's happening right now in Tampa and St. Pete's, Florida. We drove by with anybody's houses, and one of the housing is like, yeah, their tenant doesn't want to pay $180. I said, honey, they can see the water. They can walk out of their house and walk to the water in St. Pete. Do they think they're going to stay over here in Section 8? Get out of here. No way. They're getting them people out of here. Right? Okay? And it made a day, but it is coming. Right? And this is what people don't understand. So I already know what happened to this man. This man went in there. This is true. A lot of financial programs are handcuffs. Right? So when my mom told me that, I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever heard, that a girl would sell her car and that's the last thing she got to her name so she can get guaranteed assistance. No. Ask your neighbor to watch the baby take that car and take your room to work. That's literally what she ended up doing after our family talked to her enough. And again, that's probably my grandpa going, what are you thinking? So, but I want you to understand these are things that you need to understand. You need to dig your well before you need it. Now, why does it matter that I'm bringing him up? Because he's a DJ and he's, Ericka, you're being mean. He's squatting. He's basically homeless. If you are a man, and I am saying this with all respect that I can gather, because y'all act like you're being disrespectful to men, Ericka. I'm just telling you, if you're a man in your 50s and you can't call 5 friends or associates or people who can either help you get into some new housing, help you move, your mama and them, your cousins, there's no one in your ecosphere, your community that can help you, you done life wrong. Let me just say that you done life wrong. I know somebody's going to be like, Ericka, that's horrible what you're saying. You know, things happen to people. This is true. Things happen to people every day. But just like the man that got stuck in Dominican Republic, and Diamond Dave hit on that the other day, you didn't have 1 or 2 people you could call and borrow $100 from. You're in a dangerous situation. Dangerous. I've had times when I've been out here. I remember one of my semi trucks, somebody had stole it, and other YouTubers and other men in the trucking space were like, hey, where are you at? I said, it's in Ohio. It's at this truck stop. Please let me know. I'm going to call the police. They went over there and parked by it. Ericka, nobody's going to take it from you. But that wouldn't have happened if what? If I hadn't done the well and called around and had connections and built up a community of people that do what? Look out for each other. When trucking started going down this past year, they had their little trucking bump like they do with every business that's seasonal. People were calling me, hey, can you buy my truck for me? Can you help me sell my truck? Can you do this? I'm like, first of all, calm down. Take a deep breath. You can't sit on your truck for a month or 2. You can't find a new driver. You can't put somebody through school. You can't put a cousin through school. See, a lot of times what happens is people jump out here and they don't want to build a community because they don't think that's important. They don't want to treat people with respect because they don't think that's important. But what you're going to learn when you get out here and you jump off the porch, if you're feeling, froggy, you're going to need community, period, point blank. I want to first of all thank my community because yesterday we released the tickets for the Ground Up Conference in Phoenix, Arizona, April 29th and 30th. We've already sold half the tickets. And people in the comments like, Ericka, when is he going to do this again? Y'all don't understand. When people are actually building, bunch of homes and apartment buildings, like to convince them to take their weekend off, what they're doing, and put together an event to teach people is hard. This is why this is the same problem that we have in building, we're going to have in nursing. Right? Nurses who make good money, why would they take a break from nursing, making good money to come teach school for half they pay, if even like 75% less of they pay? When they're living good life and they're doing what they need to do. When you meet people who have 30 years experience and they're busy and you ask them, hey man, please do this. This will be really great. It'll be really fun. It'll bring out great people. You'll have a blast. They might do it once. They might not do it again. And this is why I keep trying to tell y'all, like this social media world, you got to realize when I'm dealing with people who are in their 50s and 60s and you trying to convince them to do internet stuff, it's like, what? Internet stuff? Talking to people. No, I'm good. I'm over here. I'm out here in the real world. And that's why I keep trying to get y'all to understand that some of this stuff you think you have access to because you got a little bit of money in your pocket. That's not true. There are people, again, this is the same thing when people talk about the housing crisis. Oh, I can't wait for the crash. I'm holding my money. to wait for the crash. I literally had a guy tell me that he had 400 grand. He's waiting for the crash. I said, if you have 400 grand and you're waiting on the crash, you're not plugged in, because all these little cities have little pockets that had little crashes, but they're not going to real crash. You know why? Because the plumbers gonna call the framers, who gonna call the electricians, who gonna call these other people over here, who gonna tell their business at the RIA group, who gonna tell their business to the accountant, who gonna tell themselves to the mortgage broker. The mortgage broker, if he got his money in together, which I can't name no names, but they have bought deals where people fell through, whether not finishing the project building, not having their money right, not doing a refinance the right way. There's so many levels of people in the real world off this internet that will touch that deal before you ever touch it. What are you talking about? If you, and this is why I'm so pushing on, like, I know I can't bully you into financial freedom. I can't bully you into thinking deeper, and I can't bully you into abundance. A lot of y'all are scarcity mentality. The women's and the men's, and like, listen, your best bet for you and your body and your mind is to go out, get in the gym, get you some supplements, get you some good waters, and be out in the real world. You know, man, crazy stuff people say on this internet that if I listen to them, I'd be somewhere crying like, oh my God, they call me fat. They call me broke. They call me ugly names. Like, y'all, this is where parents come in. Thank God I had a mom and daddy that was married together. And then I had a stepdaddy that was married for another 15 years before he died. Okay. Like, thank God I had men in my life, and I had parents who cared, who instilled and pushed me to my best. And I know everybody don't have that, but I don't want you lost in this internet. I'm not out here to create more students. That's not what I'm here for. I don't need more students. I've had 10,000 students. I want y'all to understand that. I'm now creating leaders who go lead others. That's all my focus is at this point. I've got people inside the Classy Climb who've partnered up, and y'all probably seen her at some of the events. She's partnered up with other women, and they buying short-term rentals all over the United States. I've got people that come to the boat parties that have partnered up with other people, and they're buying properties all over the United States. Do y'all understand that? The girl Brandy, that's somebody in the comments like, yeah, I just want to make sure this ain't no scam, and I need data, and I'm going to catch everybody who's trying to scam. Dude, you're a loser. Text whatever his name is. You want the intention, you're a loser. Because the girl that I told you, she got a public Instagram. She owns a business. She's literally outside showing pictures of her digging with her hands in gloves of her rental property that she bought, that she just increased her credit 100 points via taking the funding course. See, she's in action. She's in motion. You're in stagnation mode, and stagnant people are hella dangerous. They're the most dangerous people you ever want to meet in your life. Why is prison the most dangerous place any man want to be in America? Because it's stagnant people. They ain't going nowhere. They got hours and hours on their time to think about how they could either be more violent, more punching somebody else. And how dare you read? I remember someone telling me about books getting stolen from each other. And I was like, why would they steal books from each other? Because it's just the thought of, it's a mentality. It's a scarcity mentality. It's a rough environment. A lot of y'all are in a prison of your own making. And I'm not downplaying out here that you're free and walking around. I'm not disrespecting people who are actually in prison. I have people that I know that are in prison. But y'all are in a prison of your own making. And this is across multiple levels. When I hear women on these channels doing this silly stuff, I'm like, sis, go out your house. Go work out. Go put on a nice dress and go out to different meetups. Trust me, the energy outside is different, right? Go find events that find you joy. It ain't always got to be a Beyonce ticket. It ain't got to be a concert. Find things that bring you joy. Men, they're showing all these articles of men, basically suicide going up, depression going up, testosterone is low, it's dangerous out here. Listen, they've already told you, study after study, when you have a society with too many single men, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous place. It's lawless. Crime goes up. So when people sit here and try to convince you online that you shouldn't be in a relationship, listen, any country, any place where the women ratio that are single goes out of whack becomes hella dangerous. This is just studies and proven fact. They see the numbers like, okay, we got to have a certain number of women. You know what I mean? Because no matter where you go, women outnumber men, but it depends on the city and the states, right? Alaska had a lot of violence, and people, what's the problem? Alaska had this huge number of men, like 8 men to 1 woman. Now they was out there having violence, shootings, muggings, assaults. They were like, what can we do? What do they do in the summer if you know anything about Alaska? They bring in all the nurses, paying them extra. They bring in all as many women as they can bring in the summer to run the trains, to run the hotels, to run the events, right? They go hardcore hospitality, bringing all these women. It's hard if you're a boy to get hired in Alaska in the summer because they're hiring so many women. Why? The state knows we got to balance this energy out. This is a documented thing, you guys. Look up Alaska. They've done this for years. They're like, we prefer to hire women in the summer because we got more people outside and we need the violence down, right? Alaska has so many people in jail that they have so many people in jail. They're in Washington State and Arizona. They had to send them out of state because they have so many men in jail in Alaska. This because the numbers get out of whack. The same thing happens in your financial life. The same thing happens in your personal life. A lot of y'all got to go and physically pick up this phone and call people you know and touch base with them. There's a chart. I wanted to show it, but maybe I'll show it later tonight. It shows after 35, the amount of time you will spend alone is like a straight arrow. I mean, it's like up, right? And I'm talking about 35. It's like I'm talking about alone, solitude for hours. They study this stuff. It goes straight up like an arrow. It's straight up, gradual up. Now, what stops that? People in community, people in marriage, people, even kids. It says your peak years with your kids is about 30. After that, the time with your kids goes down. The likelihood you'll see your kids X amount of times go down. Friendship peaks at 25. The amount of friends you're going to have, all this stuff changes. So what does that tell you? And there's a great video where a girl talks about no one told her at 26, everybody just disappears. I said, you know why? Because most of y'all should be what? Married, starting families, kids. 2, starting to be real in your careers. And 3, starting to build other communities. We're a community-based society, right? I think some rapper woman, young mom or somebody just said that she'd never been to any weddings. She's in her mid-20s. That's woo. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I was in a sorority. I went to a slew of weddings that senior year, the year after that, and the year after that. Went to a slew of weddings 3-4 years ago from the church single group I was in. Went to a slew of weddings. The average person, they were dating 8 to 12 months. They married and they going about their life. I know you're like, no, I need 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years to know somebody. No, you don't. You need a stable life and you meet stable people. Don't shoot the messenger. Now, why am I bringing this up? What does this have to do with the DJ? What does it have to do with voucher programs? You can be a DJ and you can be a rapper one time a week. Somebody's going to be mad at me. I'm going to hear it. Let me tell you. You could be a DJ. You could be a rapper. You could be a YouTuber one time a week. If you make one video a week for a year, that's 52 weeks, 252 videos a year. If you be a DJ every Saturday for your extra $500, they're going to pay you DJ that weekend for a whole year, 52 weeks out of the year. That's still 52 times you were a DJ. A lot of times we hyper focus and go, hey man, I'm starting a business, or I'm being this, or I'm gonna be a real estate investor. There's certain careers that require you to be hyper focused. I will not take that away. Part-time real estate agents, that's hard. Part-time real estate investors, that's hard. A lot of times it does require hours and hours and hours of you perfecting your craft. There's that whole 10,000 hours rule, and I get that. But when you're in the age, and anytime you're over 25, you need to have a job or a thing that pays your bills so that you can survive. And then you do the thing you love, right? And then you dig deep for the passion. And then you dig deep for the stuff you want to do, right? This is conversations your parents should be having with you, right? Because trust me, while I was doing this YouTube thing in the beginning, they were like, oh, wait, you going to do what? Oh, no, you got to go have a job. Yeah, you got to have a job. You can do this on the weekends, but you got to have a job. You got to have something. You got to have enough to cover your bills, right? And then that gives to people doing what? Well, I have enough job hours to cover my bills. Well, one hiccup happens, you in a bad spot. This man did not get to a squatter position and missing a paycheck. This is this lie they tell you. Oh, I missed one paycheck, and I'm homeless. Nah, man. There are like 10 other steps that came before that. Warning branches as you fell down the tree. that you missed, you didn't listen to, right? This doesn't happen overnight. This happened from you constantly doing things that are easy, but deciding I'm gonna do them later, right? So let me see some of y'all comments in here. Um, I, I just want y'all to understand that, yeah, the whole thing with Paris Hilton, people act like the truth is elitist. Yeah, this is true. Like literally, I'm just gonna say, me and my significant other were at an event in Dallas, and people that were at the event that were married were like, "Oh, y'all about to be married? Let me pull y'all over here, and y'all gonna come be in our little other club group, community group." These are all heavy hitters, business owners, people that are like, "Hey, we're gonna put this on the calendar. Next month we're gonna meet this date, and then the month after that we're gonna meet on this date." Like, you know what I mean? They're not. I want y'all to understand, like, people see you. People see if you're productive. That's why when someone tells me they're a 50-something-year-old man or woman and no one's doing this ABCD, ma'am, that's because either the people around you don't have good vision, right? They can't see gold in front of their eyes. So that means you're in the wrong group. As you know, Derek Carr is not going to go to New Orleans Saints. Good luck. You're right, right? You might be in the wrong room. They might be assessing you wrong. You might be in the wrong room. Or two, you really need to work on. Are you in a position where you have value, you give value, and people want to be around you? Right? Someone would say, yeah, quit. I'm literally like, you do realize in St. Pete, they about to take all you black people out of here. Y'all about to go. Y'all about to be gone and y'all don't even realize it, okay? Like, this whole area, they're building a $400 million thing down the street. Like, good luck. Now, what's going to be the first thing many people say? Oh, that's years from now. That could be 10 years from now. If I own some land, Ericka, it's just a liability. I'm like, no. I'm going to tell you what happened. A couple of years ago, I bought a piece of land in an area that I knew was going to pop. And it was $2,500 for the land. I let a group of people scare me. They're like, oh, no, why'd you buy that? Oh, my God, there's nothing out there. Don't do it. I sell the land back. Sold to a wholesaler, but I actually sell it for $3,000 and some change. So I didn't lose any money. That should have been my first instinct. You're like, damn, he's buying it from me for more than I bought it. Now, 3 years later, that same area is everything's 25,000. See, I was in there when it was 2,500. I messed up. Now it's 25,000. Now you're gonna pay. Now you're gonna pay for the same land, double if not 10x. That's how fast it happens, right? I told y'all there was a house I was gonna buy in 2020 in March. By the end of that year, that house went from 250 to 497. And so when I tell people there are waves that we miss, don't miss the wave, right? Be smart about this. You are fighting against automation. You're fighting against an economy. You're fighting against taking vacations. You're fighting against planning your life. When everything in our society is literally like a billboard telling you, hey, if you don't have assets, sorry, it's a rough society for you. Hey, if you don't have some type of business, some type of focus, it's a rough life for you. Right? We got all these elderly people on TV nonstop showing you, oh my God, my rent went up. I have to move. I've been here 20, 30 years. And people are shocked, like, oh my God, she's been there 20, 30 years. They should let her stay. It's called rent. It's called rent. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all really not ready. You're really fighting what's really in your face in public knowledge. Okay, later tonight, I'll hit on the Tai Lopez thing. I'll hit on women quitting their jobs and stuff. But I'm telling you, Tai Lopez is playing a long game. I put it up there so I can hear some of y'all comments, but I already knew it was coming. In my work, I saw plenty of men living in housing with no kids. Public housing, affordable housing, income-based only. Well, T. Brown, it depends on the city. T. Brown, if you're in New York City and you think you're a man and you're going to get public housing before women and children, it ain't happening, T. Brown. It's not. It's not, T. Brown. It's not happening. If you're in Austin, Texas, where we don't have no affordable housing, we're short. They're asking us to build 10,000 units of affordable housing right this moment. And I tell Black people, you guys need to get out here and build. You need to get registered with the state and start building these projects. Oh, that's a lot of paperwork, Ericka. Who wants to build affordable housing? Okay. Look what happened in Nashville right now. You got white guys tearing down whole sections of projects all over Nashville. And they're going to rebuild them up for affordable housing. But who going to be there? You think men going to be there? Or you think white men and children who are now, honestly, broke in Nashville going to be there? It ain't going to be Miss Susie and Miss Orman. They're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. While they tear it down and rebuild it, they're gonna be going out in the country, way out there. So yeah, are there men? It's income based, yeah, but I'm telling you, if the list in every city is behind and backed up, you think they're getting into a man with no kids first? That's not happening. Burn your bridges, expect to drown. Yeah. And I appreciate it. Listen, I appreciate that. I thank you. I literally, just keep, I have goals and numbers that people don't know, right? That are in my head that I'm trying to reach. And I'm gonna reach them this year. And it's a very pivotal year. And I'm just telling you, regardless of whether you guys want to take action or not, or join me on any of these things, that's up to you. Because I'm gonna see you in a few years anyway, right? Like, even if I stop making YouTube videos to probably like little mid of this summer, I already know how this rolls. There'll be people finding these videos years later. I find people videos from 7-8 years ago and be reaching out to the companies, and they want to do other things. I just want y'all to understand that. Yeah, there could be. You do. Dig your well before you need it, y'all. What class would you recommend for somebody who just got out of college? I'm thinking about laptop to ATM. Bob, you really need to do a self-assessment of your income, your investments, all that. All that. But I will tell you this, Bob, I'm not gonna lie to you. April 5th, everything goes up to 2K on the channel. It's just telling everybody now, letting them know. Everything goes up to 2K on the channel. I've been underpriced for 5 years on this channel. So if there's something you're interested in, I definitely grab it now, but you need a self-assessment. You can either work with DJ the Money Coach to get a self-assessment. He comes on the channel quite often. He has links, all of the videos we do with him. And then I would make a decision from there, right? I'm always a person or a YouTuber content creator who's like, yeah, buy my courses. Like, let me just be honest with you. If some of y'all already know your position, you know where you're at financially, you know what's going on with you. I ain't got to tell you, you know. That's why the funding course is selling like it's selling. Because a lot of people know, okay, I may be all right. I need to do a little bit more, or I need to get focused. Because you're looking up and seeing the cost of food, you're seeing the cost of housing. You may not want to start a business, but you know you need to get your money in order. Let's be very clear. You already know women's. It's really crazy. All we are is a result of what we thought. Facts. I'm glad it's helping. Yeah, go to a jazz concert, go to a yoga class, get on out the house. Again, how do you schedule a consult? It's on our Calendly link. They'll always be on the channel, or they'll be the first pinned content after the video renders. Also, check our community wall. We post a lot of the links on there, all that. In Alaska, for women, the odds are good, but the goods are odd. This is a very true statement. You have people who are basically in isolation for many years. And then when you talk to them, you're like, why are they so weird? I lived in Alaska as a kid. I mean, there's just a balance, out of balance, period, right? It's really the men that make the numbers crazy. Congratulations, Drew. He passed his CFCM exam. Took over a year, but worth it. Congratulations. Friendship peaks at 25. Women need to understand women have no friends at 20. Either get married or have a career. Nothing worth a female harassing another female for research. So that's a yes and a no. If you look at a lot of the studies, women friendships go into groups, right? It starts being, are you married? Do you have kids, right? I remember at our church, and this is a high income church, there were single moms, and they couldn't seem to get a Bible study group for single moms. And I think the church wanted to be like, just blend into these other groups. But it's hard. Why? Because these other women are married. These other women have kids. They're in a different position of life. When people tell me horror stories of church when they were a kid, or, oh, my mom went to this little hole in the wall and the preacher was a pimp and this crazy stuff, your mom felt comfortable there. Right? Because women usually choose the church. So your mom got you at a church that she felt comfortable at, that's in disorder. That ought to tell you everything you need to know. A lot of y'all if y'all would just stop, take yourself off YouTube for the day and just really examine your life, you realize your moms are out of order. Their life was out of order. They was in disarray. They didn't have good advice. You know that from your life, right? Because all the churches I've been to as a kid and as an adult, they had staff, they had volunteers, they had kids programs, they had youth trips. I mean, we got 4 times a year, we send about 30 of our teenagers to Uganda. at the church I go to. So when I hear people be like, we had a hole in the wall and they got a building fund, I'm like, you're choosing to be there. Your mom is choosing to be there. That should tell you all you need to know. Certified federal contract. Congratulations, Drew. Email our office at admin@classyclimbers.com. We'd love to talk to you a bunch. Let me see. Another one. Stable life, stable finances. That man became a squatter. He burned bridges. The 10 other steps is him burning bridges. That man has a history of doing to people. Nobody brings that up. This is a fact. 9 times out of 10, when I did resumes for homeless men at a shelter here in Austin. Like, we just did resumes, put them together so they could just, go out and hand them out or try to get jobs and do online stuff. What I realized is if you start talking to them, they got a wife they ain't divorced from. They got adult kids with houses. They got all kinds of situations. You start asking why they ain't apologize, why they ain't calling them. I don't got time for that. I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not gonna live my life like that. Dude, you're homeless. Is this how you want to live your life? Again, people don't miss a paycheck and, oh my God, I'm homeless. Even my tenant who had a back surgery where they fused a part of his back and they had a hole in his lung, his rent was prepaid up so far that I was like, ain't nobody at the house. They're like, yeah, ain't nobody at the house. Something's wrong. I said, well, let's go. We need to call, do a wellness check. Come to find out dude was in the hospital. Right? Again, we can just go there. But yeah, this guy lived through the roaring 90s. The 1990s were lit. Right? You ask anybody out here who's in their 40s and 50s, they will tell you nonstop about 1990s. And I'm like, yes, the 1990s were a great financial economics position for Black people in America. Yes, jobs were everywhere. But what did people do with those jobs? Those people buy homes? Did they invest any of that money? Stop telling me about the 90s. This is a big thing. People, again, I'll ask people in the last 5 years, have you been pre-approved for a home? Crickets. Last 5 years, have you put money in a CD? Crickets. Last 5 years, have you invested in a Roth IRA? Crickets. Have you updated your insurance? Crickets. Have you thought about starting a business? Crickets. Have you thought about this? Crickets. What do you think about women? Women's. What do you think about men? Yeah, these men ain't shit. I mean, what's funny right now is there's 3 women I know who are in their 50s getting married right now. Like that carousel, I know they keep talking about, I don't want to say the words inappropriately. It really doesn't stop, right? Because as adults, we look for what? Companionship. So I know 3 people in their 50s and 1 girl in her late 40s right now getting married right this moment. They're going to get married later this year or in between the next couple months. That's why I tell you, it depends on where you're living and what you're seeing you already know your social space in society. Right? When people start doing well financially, they get married, they move in a house, they keep it pushing. These people with these struggle love stories and all this stuff, you're like, oh, boo, you live somewhere terrible. You got a terrible group of friends. What's going on with your life? Again, let's make this money, Tam. You already know. They are downtown St. Pete. They're not Tampa. They're downtown St. Pete. They're on the St. Pete side. And this is what I keep telling people. Tampa full, St. Pete ain't. So you go to a lot of alumni events. Congratulations. People in North Carolina said the same thing. When they tore down all the projects, that should have been the first time. The average worker can barely affirm down now, and it used to be the hood. Durham used to be the Black Wall Street. And then we're like, oh, the gangs, and they're shooting up neighborhoods. These same Black folks who've been renting in the same house for 10, 15 damn years, paying rent to somebody. Then all of a sudden they decide they're going to come through, change the rent, and change the house. Now they're mad. Oh, no, they're changing the neighborhood. Ma'am, you never bought in all these years. Well, it was bad over here. That's your choice, ma'am. Too busy. We got to focus on swag, man. Durham, yeah, all that. First Black Wall Street. Yep. It was one of the Wilmington was, but that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, because everything in Davis Isle, downtown St. Pete, you're not getting 180 for water view. The average water views, they're under a builder who basically the property could rent out for $3,500 a month, but the city of St. Pete is giving people, I think, 1,800, and so all that tenant has to pay Tam is 180, and they're mad because they're like, he's getting paid so much money. Why should I pay? These are the unprepared 50s and 60-year-olds. These are these people in their 40s and 50s been on these programs all their life. And the thought that they have to go out and actually work and compete, nah, they don't want to do that. Thank you. I keep trying to tell people men will not get public housing. In Maryland, the wait list is 5 to 8 years. If you a man not making enough money, you better go get some roommates. You better go get a new car that you can stretch out in. So they do. People just need to pursue. The truth is, everybody's like, "Oh, Ericka, one size doesn't fit all. One answer doesn't fit all," and this is true. I'm not gonna belittle people's response to when I say it. The truth is, most people aren't trying to do any of that. They're not trying to pursue anything. They're trying to go to work at a very low key, low stress job, but be paid like 80 to 100K a year. Like they don't want to have no skills, none. No skills. None. And it's like, okay, cool. Congratulations. It's where you see the join button. Studying Texas line adjusting class. Congratulations. Listen, the guy we brought on for adjustment, he was in Dallas and the storm came through. And his phone is still blowing up years later after he ain't been active. So he went and activated some of the stuff and he's been busy all over Dallas. He was like, yeah, I've just been going between my showings. I'm like, that's just how it is. Plenty of women I know married and single and have no problems having friends, but there are plenty of women in my city, yeah. I do. Yes, friends for years and new friendships blooming out again. It may be due to women in the area, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't have a class on this. The only thing I will be, so you guys have to realize my whole channel and everything I do I'm a super connector. And I partner with people and I bring events together and I market events that I know will be helpful to my students and helpful to me. I told y'all I was building over $10 million in real estate this year. I already told y'all that. Y'all know that. Right? So if I'm telling you that, that means I'm working with people, right? I can't be doing that by myself. There's no such way you do it by yourself. You're always working with people. What's funny, I called a woman who's off A&E TV show. I said, girl, tell me about this person. She's like, oh yeah, girl, just call her. She's down the street from you. That call was worth $300,000 in loans. That one phone call was worth $300,000 in loans. And I want y'all to understand that no one does anything alone. The abundance mindset is that there isn't a scarcity factor. And a lot of y'all are so financially insecure, things are out of whack. You don't trust or believe in your own skills or your own skill sets to take any risk. Because you can't. Like, I don't make enough. I don't have enough saved up. Like, okay, I'm going to Hawaii next week. And somebody says, oh my God, it's so expensive. Every time I've told somebody to go to, oh my God, we spent $6,000 10 years ago. I'll never go back to Hawaii. Oh my God. Like people say this is the craziest things to me whenever I just say, hey, I'm going to Hawaii. Oh my God, it's so expensive. I'm like, but if you knew that, you already knew that. Maybe in 2 years ago, maybe buy your ticket a year from now and save up your money so you can go and enjoy yourself. There's a million places in America you can go. You don't have to go there. Right? And so you're having these conversations with people, you realize people are already shutting their mind out from even thinking about better, more opportunities. Literally. They're literally locking their mind. Right? So you're having these conversations on the internet with people who have already decided everything's a scam. Everything's wrong. All men are bad. All women bad. Life is bad. Well, gosh, dog. Why even get out of bed if you think that way? But we really have people like that. This is why you have real estate crashing channels that have been going for 3 years now. There's no crash in sight, only on YouTube, and they just get hundreds and millions of views. I mean, you got this guy getting $35,000 a month to keep telling you that everything is crashing. He left Austin, moved to Dallas, still telling you the same stuff about stuff crashing. And I literally can show you the data, the numbers. I literally showing you people who have 20, 30 people show up to their house to rent a house in Dallas. And they're taking $100 to $150 application fee every single time. But if you come on YouTube, oh, it's crashing. Everything's falling. The sky's falling. Who are they marketing that to? These people are about to come right past you. And especially a lot of these Latino people that I'm talking to and dealing with, they're building house after house after house. And they're keeping some for them, some for their mom, some for their cousin. They're going to rent out the rest. Y'all keep playing. You're going to wake up a stranger in your own country is what they would say. That's why so many people are moving. That young lady I reported, the single mom that moved to Costa Rica for a $300 rent, she done literally built up some clients. Now she in Egypt. She in Egypt in a $1,500 a month place, 4 bedrooms, a certain amount of baths, overlooking some water in Egypt. But what people don't want to hear, they don't want to hear the part that she had to take a risk and do what? Increase her skills. So I don't have nothing against y'all wanting to move to other countries and save money on rent. If that's what it takes for you to get a year of that, to get your mind right and get you honed in and focused, do it. Do it. I'm all for it. But you better have a daggone plan, because if not, you're going to be old, coming back to the United States. You know, people I know that left California coming back this way, left Hawaii. They was a military kid. They stayed as long as they could. Oh, man, I had to leave. Why? I couldn't afford it out there. Why? What were you doing? I was working as a coffee person, working at a food restaurant. Okay. You didn't want to be a nurse? You don't want to be something in the military? You don't want to be something in a government job? You know what I'm saying? Again, people get in these positions long before they get down. Los Angeles, the wait list is 15 years. And people gonna stay on it. Instead of saying, you know what, I got to go somewhere else. I've got to go somewhere else. Right? Right? They think being basic is profitable. Right? Do you think it's a good idea buy years in pension plans? I currently work in that's what I'm hoping to do in the long run. Drew, I wouldn't know. I would have to. I'm not certain on that. You'd have to book a call with me. I'm uncertain on where you're going with that. Do I still recommend tax liens every day? I have a student who bought 2 tax liens in Florida, 10,000 square feet. Listen, everything I produced and created, I still vouch for. We literally sold maybe 10 of the tax lien course yesterday. Everything that I've talked to you out on this channel is still valid. I have people all the time. Well, you released this course 2 years ago. Is that still good? Is that still everything I'm talking about? Y'all still works. O'Neill Parker that came on 2 years ago and taught it inside the class, Middleman to Millions. He still has his roofing company. It's even bigger now in Louisiana. He's getting ready to buy a commercial property, right? The people that are doing the cleaning company still got their cleaning company, getting ready to buy another building. Later tonight, I'm going to show y'all where somebody had a boring business and they've sold it for $42 million right there in San Marcos, right beneath us, Austin. Because y'all too busy going, well, what's the hot new thing, Ericka? Hot new thing. There ain't no hot new things. The thing will always be all roads lead to real estate. And I've taught y'all that on this class. I've said it over and over. If you on this channel 5, 6, 7 years asking me what's the thing, it's still going to be real estate. No matter where you put your money, no matter what your business is doing, it's still going to be real estate. We all need somewhere to sleep. We all need food that the land produces. So y'all keep being on this, well, what's the hot new thing? There ain't no hot new thing. Until you get enough money that you can buy something cash, like a car twice or land twice, you need to be getting your money up. Are there ebbs and flows in all this stuff? For sure. But most of y'all just need to be getting your money up. The truthful, really. And that's okay. They talk to the economic development agency always. Always. Grant Cardone always gonna need people in apartments. There's a ton of people who never think long term. So they will keep ending up being in apartments. Still no crash. They still out here talking about it. Anyway, let me finish that. I gotta go. I prefer expensive wealth over cheap rent. Hey, I hear you. Fair enough. Is there someone you know could direct me to who knows on starting affordable houses? I can't be mundane. Zeke, honestly, you need to just hit the Google. I'm not trying to be funny, but like if you're that worried about affordable housing, like again, I'm going, where's the first place you should start? Not trying to be an asshole, but really seriously. First place you should start is your city and state. Second is what? Affordable builders. They look for builders to build affordable housing. So you're going to do what? Find out what the state requires, and then you're going to go find somebody who needs it. I'm not teaching that stuff because I don't have time. Like, y'all don't understand, time is a precious commodity. To ask a man who's building millions of dollars in real estate, hey, can you take your time out and do a weekend and train all these people and help them become builders? You asking a lot out of a busy person, right? So then when I'm sitting here telling y'all, like, I don't have time to Google that for you. I don't. You can book a call with me, but I don't have time to Google it for you. I can tell you what plan I'm following, but again, that does nothing for you if you aren't what? Ready. It does nothing for you if you don't have cash. It does nothing for you to learn all this information, right? It does nothing for you if you're not making a forward progression. It does nothing for you, right? It does nothing for you. If you didn't get yours, first thing you should do is hit admin@classyclimbers.com. If your call was missed, hit admin@classyclimbers.com and let them know, hey, this was my order number and I didn't receive my call. Because I actually run around and have a very busy schedule. I mean, I really pretty much, like when somebody asked me earlier, am I moving all the calls up? Pretty much all the calls are going to be $1,000 because I'm just going to be busy this summer in this project I'm working on. And I literally don't have the time. This is really a courtesy. All this is a courtesy. Let me see with the last part. Ericka, people need to look at your old video. They really do. It's a search bar. So look, all right, guys, I gotta go. I got like 40 things to run errands before I go to Hawaii in the morning. I'll be gone all week. There'll be some pre-recorded content that's on the channel, but it'll be great stuff. At the end of the day, I hope you have a great week. It's gonna be my birthday Thursday coming up. I strongly suggest all of you grab the 97 courses, $97 bundle, funding bundle, or any other courses you choose on the channel. Everything goes up April 5th to $2,000. It might go up to $3,000, but right now $2,000 is what we talked about with our marketing company. And at the end of the day, listen, this is a channel for people who want to take action. I'm all for you learning more. I'm all for you educating yourself and watching hours and hours of video. But really, we only have time in our space for people who are actually taking action. So for those of you, I will see you in April in Phoenix, Arizona at the Ground Up Construction. I'm so proud of you for making that decision. I look forward to seeing you. And remember, there's 10 available land lots available for sale that we've already got locked in for y'all and ready to let y'all have, because that's really the part of getting started is once you get the land, your feet off the ground, you're ready to go. Anyway, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Classy Clown Blog. You guys have a wonderful evening.